Hi guys, welcome to DeathGround. So I'm going to show you a real quick video all about how you can speed up your Shopify site in little more than about 20 characters. 20 characters, yes. So I've been running a Shopify store for the last 7 years, and the thing that I've been focused on every single day has been speed and performance. And if you run a Shopify store and you actually look at the details on things like pingdom, GT metrics, page speed insights, you'll probably be pulling your hair out. I had a lot more hair than this, and then I had a Shopify store. There's an awful lot of functionality and apps you can get on Shopify which can make your store quite slick, quite nice to engage with, but all that comes at a cost of performance. And one of Google's known ranking factors is speed, importantly page performance, the ability for it to load on mobiles. And well, if your site's not fast and you're wondering why you're not ranking, that might be your point. So we have always focused on every site we launch for our own business, and this is for our own business as well as for clients, is speed and performance, down to whether or not you start with a theme, a pre-made theme. Look for the fastest theme you can have. Look for the fastest theme with the most functionality and features already built in, so you haven't got to then add apps to do those things. I always try to strip away things. Anyway, I told you I'd show you how you can speed up your site with about 20 characters. Let me just explain first why you do that and what the problem is. So when you download an app on Shopify, every app will say to you, our app's super light and the code runs asynchronously. And what that means is, as the site runs, the app is not blocking the rest of the page to load. What it does is sort of runs at the same speed, and so it's called asynchronously. It runs at the same time. And that's their sort of pitch that, hey, this is not going to affect your site. But the reality is if you download something like with a delivery timer, so on a product page, at the add to cart, it will say order now within the next X minutes, and it will constantly cascade down based on your geographic region to get next day shipping or get delivery by X date. That's a great feature, a really good feature. People want to know when are they going to get something. It's one of the most common reasons to abandon cart is shipping related issues, not knowing when it's going to be, maybe it's too long, hidden costs. So having a shipping delivery timer with a predicted date there, telling them when they do, it hits with sort of FOMO, fear of missing out, but it's a really cool little feature. However, and it's not, to be fair, it's not a particularly large feature. However, when you download an app like that on Shopify, it's injected into your theme liquid, and your theme liquid is essentially the page for your entire site. Your theme, I suppose it's the skeleton of your site. That means when you load a blog page, the script gets run. When you load your cart page, the script gets run. When you load your home page or a collection, the script gets run. As you can imagine, if you accumulate 10, 15, 20 apps on your site, and all these things are running asynchronously and are super lightweight, are all running at the same time but aren't needed, that unnecessarily impedes your page performance, slows your site down, and it reduces your chance of ranking where you could do. Now, I love technical SEO, and this is really what technical SEO is. It's user experience, it's technical SEO. It's essentially those things that are the technical side of search engine optimization. And the beauty of getting technical SEO right is it is the simplest way, in theory, of making the most profound and positive effect on your ability to rank on a site. So getting technical SEO is really good. If you're ever wondering why you're not ranking, or sales aren't coming through, or you're not getting the traffic you want to have, I urge everyone, jump onto tools.pingdom.com or go to GT metrics, you can Google them, or Page Speed Insights, Google Page Speed Insights, they've got their own thing, and Google Mobile Friendly Test. Put your site in there and stop worrying about how it looks on desktop. Look at how it looks on mobile, and you'll get an indication of perhaps why your traffic may not be there. Now, if you're smashing those things out of the park, then there may be other issues at play, but more often than not, it's generally these things, particularly if you've got a Shopify site. If you run the test and you see you've got 200 requests, that means when your page loads, it's firing lots of little HTTPS requests. That means external bits of content are being called, cloud-based data is being called, and that's a huge number, 200. But I see that all the time. If anything, it's probably the average number I see on a Shopify store. If you've got homepage banners that are sliders, they're very, very heavy, they slow the page down. So there's lots of things you can do, but fixing these things can suddenly make you bump up the rankings because your site has a much higher ranking potential. In short, no one truly knows what the algorithm is, what the algorithm relates to in terms of exact metrics. And very often people who work in SEO, if they tell you they can guarantee you some position, then they're lying. All we can do is go, look, these are the best practices, let's do these, and hopefully your content gets picked up. We literally do not know People have tried to game the system. People do sometimes get away with it. People have tried to work out the algorithm, but we're talking about an astrophysics level of algorithm. It's incredibly smart. It's incredibly secret, and all we can do is work to the best we can, and that is to do things that we know Google likes and has told us it likes. Page performance. So that's why it's important to get your page speed up. I'm going to show you how you can fix that, having explained, obviously, you download lots of apps. A lot of them are going to run through your theme file, and you want to avoid that. Now, quickly before I move on to the screencast and show you actually how to do it, and it's really, really easy. The common response will be from any particular performance analyst or any particular sort of agency that offers this, is they'll say, well, maybe start by clearing off some of your apps. And look, for many smaller businesses and startup businesses, there are probably a lot of apps you don't need, and there are probably a lot of apps you could actually just code with CSS. That's cascading style sheets into your site, and they aren't as heavy on your site. And that requires, for a lot of people, requires finding a developer to do that, particularly someone who's comfortable with liquid file or Ruby on Rails as Shopify is. But more often than not, if you're talking about an established e-commerce business, there are fundamental functional features your site needs to have. And I get it all the time. Oh, have you tried removing an app? Well, no, I can't remove my ability to do live chat because that's what promotes conversions. No, I can't get rid of my live tracking for my customers who can see where their order is in real time because they value that. No, I can't get rid of a delivery timer to tell people when they're going to get it because they want to know that. No, I can't get rid of the loyalty points and rewards app that's integrated, that's very fantastic and has thousands of reviews and links to my structured data and actually helps me rank for some things. No, I can't get rid of those things. And those things invariably are actually the largest things on my site. Getting rid of it, I can't even speak, it's too early. Getting rid of anything else really wouldn't move the needle. So you get told of those things. So what you really have to do is make a decision based on what pages those need to run on. And this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you on the screen how you can essentially speed up pages that you're trying to rank for. So my businesses are in a lot of restricted ad spaces. That means we can't use paid ads. So our main form of marketing is content marketing. And what that means is we write blogs, we hope they're good, or maybe they'll get better, and we hope that Google picks it up and goes, this is good content, bring it up, and you get some traffic. And then from that post, you might have call to actions in there, or you move on to the next stage. So it might be a blog post on how to do something, how to do it best with the next one, and where can you get that thing from. That's called content marketing. It uses the power of Google's organic search to improve your rankings. So those pages are critical for ranking, and to rank those well, they need to be detailed, authoritative, well written, engaging, fast to load. And so you then go back to look at those apps you've got and you go, do I need my live chat on the blog post? Probably not. And that is where you start to strip apps. That's the advice that most agencies aren't giving you, most consultants aren't giving you, because they're not fully understanding the real issue at hand. Anyway, I'm going to show you how you do that. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up, like, and just share it on someone else, really. But that's it. So let's get onto the screen. Okie dokie. Right, got my coffee, got a little note section. This is going to be useful. And I'm going to show you how you can speed up your site super fast. Got a call. I'm going to try and bang this out in a few minutes just so you can, well, if I can show you how to get your site fast, I might as well do it fast. Right, first of all, I'm just going to bang in some, I don't know what even it's called. I'm not a coder. So if template contains article. Okay, let's do that. And then with space, this is the genius code. And then what we got here is another one of those. I don't know what they're called, no idea. Percentage symbol, end if. Oh, hang on, one word. I've tripped up there. Right, this is going to be similar to the code we're going to use each time to affect whether or not certain apps run. So this is the back end. Right, so let me just show you Google Page Speed Insights for my own site that I'm going to show you today. Let's bring it in there. I never actually know what is the domain. No wonder I always have to type it out. I mean, that's it. You'd think they'd make their own one, like GPSI. Right, so let's pop in HTTPS open juice. Crying out loud. I can't spell today. Okay, so this is a Shopify store. I've had 6, 7 years, and speed has always been on my mind. It's never been fast enough. And I think if you're anything like me, you do some tweaks to the site, you come back and look at it a month later and you're like, what? What's happened? So this is a really good tool, Google Page Speed Insights. What are we on? 77, okay. So sitting around that, what's on desktop? Booyah! This is really what matters. There's all these other tools out there that look at your page speed. They're very important too. They give you an idea, an easy idea, but this is Google's own developer tools. Just show you, this is the mobile version of the page. You're probably thinking for an e-commerce site, it's a lot of text. It is a lot of text, but text loads easy. And this text in particular is a web safe font. That means it's just hard coded to people's computers, so it loads fast. And I might tweak this a little bit, but I'm going to probably close the padding up and things. But for the meantime, it's what needs to happen just to get there. Most people, I get a lot of traffic to the homepage, but a lot of our traffic is blog based, so they don't see that all the time. So there's some things here I need to do still. This was a lot higher. This was a much higher figure, like for 3 seconds the other day. So we've got it faster. And there's page rendering. But there's a lot of things here. You'll see these things and think, how do I fix them? Well, here's a really simple way to get that number a lot higher. So let's go back to the site, and we're going to go to the online store. Don't be too scared of it. Look, I learned HTML when I was a kid at uni, and I didn't have, this hasn't updated yet. I can't wait for that to update because I've only just done this recently. I learned a little bit, but I didn't know a great deal. And if you go into the back end actions edit code for Shopify, it can seem quite scary, but actually it's not that hard. And lots of these codes here, just don't play with things you don't understand. Always save things. Let me just close article collection. Look, for example, this is a template. This is a template, for example. I think this is a template. Let me just double check. Yeah, it is. And so all a template is just the pages with all the different sections made up. So a template for me was this is a particular blog post. I named it Article Collection Guide, and it's made up of a blog post and a collection of products underneath it. That's it, really. And then you then go down to the sections, and you find collection guide and collection guide here. This is just the code that's already been pre-written. I've just copied it and made a separate blog slider. Ignore me, sorry, I'm waffling a little bit. Let me move away from this. Let me just close it down. Theme SCS liquid. I'm making an author by for my blog. Let's close that one down. Static article. See, a lot of this stuff can be confusing. You might look at it. A lot of this is HTML stuff here. There's some JavaScript calls probably in there. Got any script calls? Control F. Yeah, there's a couple of script calls there. Oh, is there? Is that for the? Yeah, it is for the section ID. But nothing massive. But a lot of it's stuff you can find on Google. How to do this, how to do that. There's CSS. This is HTML. Header 3s and div tags. But let me show you where the magic happens. Right. So this is your theme liquid file. Mine is stripped down a lot now, to be fair. But so you'll see a lot of stuff like this. This gets called on every page regardless because it's your theme liquid file. So it's the thing that runs the theme. That includes anything from how the theme looks, features of the theme, the collection bars and filters. Now let me show you this. Right, so let's a really simple one to do first. I'm probably going to mess up my ranking today with this. But so remember that little thing I showed you on the homepage? Sticky notes. If template contains article. Now what this means is, in a nutshell, is if a page or if something has this or if something doesn't have this, then run that. Otherwise, don't. You can have unless this has this, otherwise don't. If this has this, have that. So that's what it means in a nutshell. It's simply an if or an end if or an unless statement. It's just and there are probably there's a technical term for explaining it. It simply says do this for this, otherwise don't do it. And the beauty with Theme Liquid, and it's really amazing how hard it is to find this information out sometimes. The people out there probably go, I already knew it. Well, I've been running a Shopify site for 7 years. I'm working every single day and I've not long found it. I normally would have someone else do this. In fact, I've had speed companies look at our site, improve our speed, compress some of the data, and still haven't done this. So it's because they don't get involved in your business enough to find out. So let's have a little look here. This is some schema. Let's find something I can show you. So here we go for a start. Up the top, we use AMP. That's a really useful app. I use Shop Sheriff. The team are really, really good. It's a great way to increase the performance of certain pages from your site that don't require much functionality. AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. You see them a lot on Google with the Lightning Strike. The Lightning Strike itself is a really good additional sort of feature to help click-through rates and call to action. I don't use Shop Sheriff on every single page, but however, this runs through my entire theme. So what did I do? I have now changed this to, unless the template .name is index, run it, basically. That's it. End unless. That's an unless statement. I think that's what it's called. So this doesn't run on my homepage because I don't use it on my homepage. So why would I have it on my homepage? Now I can get really meta and have a load of code there, and kind of similar to what I've done further down the page. Let me just show you. And you can do this for anything. And this is literally it in a nutshell. Let me find. I've got a few arrays there. Okay, so here we've got this around my if template else template name of vape kits or stars e-liquid. I have no idea what this one is actually. Page description. I don't think I put that one in actually. I think that someone else did that one. Yeah, I didn't do that one, so I can ignore me on that one. Not actually, I didn't even know what it's for. Let's find another. Okay, here you go. This here runs on your theme, and if you've got a theme or a pixel union theme, I don't know why they do this. You've got your filters and your category and your collection filters running on every single page. So the depth of this, let me just show you exactly in a nutshell. If template contains collection, run this collection category filter section. Otherwise, don't. And that's just common sense. How do we do it? If template contains, I don't even need to put the equals in there, I don't think, but I have done that way. I think you can get rid of those. This white space you can get rid of. Yeah, I mean, this was the first one I did, and it's fine. Another one we've got is a page builder called Shogun. Shogun allows to make nice pages. Let me show you one of the pages we did. They can use. Really, actually quite pleased with how the page looks, but Shogun pages have a tendency to be a bit slow. Well, they say it's not. So this is my lovely ugly mug. This is just a CBD page. Ton of questions on there, lazy loads videos, but it's just a more comprehensive landing. It's like a starting page for all the CBD products we sell. So with Shopify, you've obviously got all the collection / products. You've got no real way of making a master page, so a master collection. So what we did was we made a sort of a master page for a product type, CBD, and then from this one it goes on to our oil or our e-liquid or our CBD vape kits. A bunch of questions being answered, authority links, some featured products. But to build this kind of page is quite heavy. So having Shogun being rendered across every single site in our theme is an unnecessary drag. So we've got if template contains Shogun, because all of the templates using Shogun, all the pages you make using Shogun would have Shogun in the template. Render it, run it. Otherwise, don't. It's pretty simple, really. And obviously, these are all above the head, so they can be pretty heavy on the whole site. So let me give you an example. So let's just remove now. So line 219 is end if template contains collections. Let me just copy that one because that's the one that matters. Okay, it's 210. All right, let me just copy this. When you do this kind of work, I generally have what's called a changelog. So line 210 theme.liquid. You might think this is unnecessary, but do you know what? It saves you so much stress. Line 218. I know what that one is. 2.18. It's a religious passage. End if. You just know what it is. You did. Is it end if or is it end unless? It's an end if. 224 anyway. Wasn't 2. Alright, okay, fine. So now, remember I showed you page speed was 77? Now let's just do this. Let's take off the end if. End if you want it. That's 219. Oh my god, I'm killing my site. F template contains collection. And you can do this for any single page you have. Right, let me save that. What are you doing? You're slowing the site down. I want to. So let's run. It may not do it straight away, but let's give it a try. How's my coffee? How's my coffee looking? I'm just going to slurp the coffee. Takes a little while to run this. Oh me, it's hot. Hot coffee. Been up since 5:77. Sod's law. I'm going to run that again because it may not have might still be cached in the old version. And let's do another one. If template contains Shogun 221. This is why it's. I mean, generally you wouldn't do the work and then remove it, but you update your sites, so it's really important to get a handle on what work you've done. Because if you update your theme, and Shopify themes update too, you could lose some of the stuff you've done. So having it here, you can always go back to it. Control F in the Word document. I'll show you my changelog in a second, actually. Show you what I'm doing for a client at the moment. Let me just pull that one up. Let us pull the changelog. So this is a changelog. How's that looking? 75. Bloody hell. It's doing too well. 221. Alright. If template contains Shogun. Let's delete that. Remove the end if. Can take a little while actually for it to notice. What am I doing to my site for the benefit of a video? Asset saved. Okay. Analyze the site again. Make sure I've done that in the changelog. 221 end if. I think that's what it was. What are we on now? 64. There you go. Bang. That's a difference. 64. So we've just lost 13. We've just lost 20% page performance. And so on the flip side, we add those things back in and we improve our page performance by 20%. It's that easy. It's genius almost. And it's genius. I am a genius. I hope you don't mind. But I can't believe it took me this long to find out this. There isn't anyone out there who teaches you this stuff at this level where you're kind of understanding how that has an impact on your e-commerce business, because these things are all new. Certainly someone out there will teach you how to do if statements, but you don't know that you needed to know if statements. But that is it in a nutshell. That is the simple thing you've got to do. So you work through your site, find out what pages you want certain things to run, that need to run. It's a bit of a trial and error because obviously you'll find out you actually did need something, but that's it. It's not actually that hard. And you could pay someone a ton of money for this, and I've just shown you how to do it for gratis. So give me some love, but let me just put these back in just to show you that I haven't killed the site. Fingers crossed. I'm going to whack it under the script. I don't know, I'll find out what they're called. If you do know what they're called, please put the thing in the comments. They are called curly brackets to my face, to my name. That is it. So we put it back in. If template contains collection, run the category filters. Otherwise, don't. That sounds like Boris Johnson for the. If your friends ask you to go out, you say no. I won't. If template contains Shogun, render. Otherwise, don't. So we're going to save that, and we're going to return it back to its. End if is one word, by the way. Don't make the mistake I made when I first learned it. But that is it. I've done the same for my blog. You want to know what I use my chat? There you go, TDO chat. Another one, I use Klaviyo. Klaviyo is a really good tool, really heavy. I thought, I don't need that to run on my homepage, so I've done the same. So I've wrapped a ton of stuff in it. There isn't much more I could wrap if statements around. What I will probably do next is I'm going to work on getting rid of some of this white space on some of the, for example, that's my author bio. I could probably get rid of all this white space around here, except for the ones within the brackets, obviously, and that reduces the file size. And those are the things you can do as well. But that's when you're starting to really get down to the nitty-gritty. But you can do this stuff yourself. You don't need to have someone else do it for you. And this is what I hope you've got out of this. And invariably, they don't tell you this. Trust me, I've tried so many people out there, and very few people pick up on this stuff. And I've just given you a commercial level skill for absolutely nothing. Let's run that again. Let's see what that's saying. Hopefully I haven't destroyed my sites. Make sure they're all back on. They're correct. It's saved. Let's get out of there. Page speed, oh god, so it actually went lower, so it takes a bit of time for things to happen for it to cache it and understand it, but that's actually how low it went. It went from 77 to 60. Run it again, let's keep running it. Let's kill my site. That's where we are at now. So when people say to you maybe remove some apps, what you could say is maybe you could tell me how to stop the apps from running on 81. There you go, boom, pop goes the weasel. It's got faster. I don't know how, but that is it. There you go. Page speed, mobile 81. You can find another Shopify with a web chat and a stat and a review platform knocking around that that doesn't have those things around it. I'd be impressed. I hope I've given you some value. That's all you got to do. It's really easy. How many characters is that? Let's count that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the general gist. Not a lot of characters, and that will change your site performance. Monitor the number of impressions. If you want, you can re-index it on Google Search Console. Make sure as well you actually have site listed with the Search Console, and watch the impressions and see if it makes a difference to you. And if it does, please, just give us a comment. It'd be great to see what the impact is for your site. But there you go. Thanks for listening, watching, and that's how you speed up your Shopify site.